the average person comes into one of the two categories: someone who works hard or someone who works smart. And if you don't even like come in one of them, you're not doing any one of these, then you should just change that, because or else it's not going to end up good. Anyways, so like talking about the first category about hard work. Okay, now the people who work hard, they are just like going at it every day. They're just pushing themselves to their boundaries, and they're like they just keep doing it, and they put in the hours. You know, they even get the results, and they're like doing good, and they like it. It's like fulfilling for them, and yeah, it just they're satisfied with it. But like it does come back to bite you one day, and that's the moment when you realize out of nowhere on one particular day that the guy that studied 5 hours less than you scored almost the same amount of marks as you, right? And that's painful. You can't quantify that pain. It's just too bad, and it breaks you to some extent. It like makes you question yourself that what the hell have been I doing all this time, with all of this hard work. So something like that happened with me. So in like my school, I was mostly just like a good student for most of the time, and I got good grades. Okay, and it was COVID time, and then we had our 10th during that, and like our 10th exams were conducted after the COVID, so it was like offline. And when it was the result time, okay, it was I was like quite happy with my own result. Like it was like okay, fine, I got good grades, but then like the moment I realized that what, most of my friends just got almost most of like the people I knew in school just like got almost the same amount of marks as me. Maybe some of them got a bit less, some of them more, but then still like it was like almost the same, right, in the end. So that just made me lose it. Like I felt defeated because of that. And like yeah, seriously, if you actually think about it, 10th grade marks don't even matter that much. Nobody really cares about them later in life, but then it just feels wrong. Like I just feel I'm too much of a perfectionist, and if everything's not as perfect as it can be, and I just somehow lose a bit of my potential, it just doesn't feel right. And I feel like that's a good trait, because I feel like you should feel guilty for not hitting your complete potential. And that's like I didn't cry, but like just for an entire month, I just kept thinking about that. Like why the hell did that happen? Like I just felt defeated for like a long time, and then I recovered from it. Like yeah, in the end, it was not that major of a thing, like for my like life. But then it just feels bad. Okay, and the second category, obviously, I would just say is smart work. People who just um, try to like work as smart as possible. Be as efficient with the tasks as possible. So like they try to like get the most amount of output for the minimum amount of input required in the work, right? So it kind of works like the Pareto principle. It's like you put in 20% of the effort and you get like 80% of the results with just that 20%. And that's like it works well. It like in the end you just get like the job done, and you still get like like if let's say like for example in school, right? Like there are some people who just like they don't study, but they still like study a little bit, and then they still get like 85%. Like they might not get like the hardworking people who get like maybe let's say 90%, but still they manage to get like to 85%. That's also a lot, right? So, and that's just like my personal opinion that like maybe the people who work smart still get little less on the result side compared to the people who work extremely hard. Okay, that's just like a personal opinion. And then so like I actually converted into something like this. After like my 10th, I started preparing for JE, and in 11th, what happened was like I started leaning more towards smart work and how I can be like more efficient with my work, and how to get like the best output for the minimum amount of effort put in, right? And I tried it. But still like I was still wasting like a lot of time, and like my hard work, the amount it got diminished to some extent, but still it was like on an okay level. But I just wasted time during that time. I was being smart, doing my tasks, but still like the result was just like bad. Okay, it was seriously bad, and I was just way too disappointed with myself because of that. So then later in like after you know like at the end of 11th, entering into 12th, I started working hard again, and it was like it again, it like it feels satisfactory, and you're like fulfilled with that work. You do put in the hours, and you just you do good. Okay, like so it was like again the results did came. I improved a lot, but then it was still like that you know at that point that like fine, the results are good, but then it's just not enough for perfection, right? It's always the case. So like recently, what I've been trying to do is like you know use the best of both worlds. Like go for smart work, go for hard work, and like get what I can. And I'm still like preparing for JEE, and so like if like let's say I want to do for like my deep work task, I attempt like PYQs for like 3 hours every day, and then I also like you know for the smart work part, I can still like analyze like what I've been doing wrong and where like I am losing marks for like not literally because I'm just not never getting to like actually able to solve those things, but maybe it's just minor errors. So like if I can just improve those minor errors, that then it can just be like a big improvement, you know. Like so I still don't need to like completely like go like completely against like my entire routine because it's like still I would agree that it's not there's not much of time left, so you just need to like like get the marks from where you can get them easily from, right? So it's like you use both of them, hard work and smart work. So like yeah, what I want to say is like you cannot just like solely depend on one of them, just like keep working hard or just just do it smartly, because it just won't work. Because it's like this, that the world is competitive and it's like an unfair game, like you can even talk about genetics. Some people will just get it, even with doing like less amount of hours, but still like that's what it is going to be. It's like you have to accept it, play with the cards that you have been dealt with. But then so like you cannot just like think like one dimensionally, that if hard work is all you need, like you will get whatever results you want with like hard work, and like smart work is just bullshit, you cannot do anything with smart work. Then you're just limiting yourself. You Okay, fine, hard work, you should work hard, but then you're losing out if you just completely neglect any amount of smart work that you can have in your daily routine, right? And then also like smart work, okay, the people who were like they are not that um super hardworking, and they just are a bit maybe lazy, and but they still like get like the job done, right? They still like get the result, and it's like enough, it's good enough, and they still do good. So but like even with like smart work, it's like if you just think that, oh yeah, like you shouldn't work super hard, you should just like do like smart work and like get like whatever you want like that, and it's so easy, and like you can just enjoy yourself for the rest of the time. It's not that good of a result too, because it's just that, okay, fine, this is not for people who just want to have like this normal good time, okay, who just want to enjoy themselves and like get like good results. Okay, this is not something for people like that. This is like if you really want to be like actually some kind of a perfectionist, okay, you're like a maniac, you don't want like the top 10%, you seriously don't want like the top 10%, you want like the top 1%, or maybe even top 0.1%, then you do not have like options left, that I'll just work hard or I'll just work smart, because your brain is just like it's just one dimensional thinking, that if I just keep doing this one thing, it will work sometimes, so you just like, even if you like work super hard, right, you put in a lot of hours, then you do not actually like do anything to improve the efficiency of those hours that you're putting in, and you do not even analyze what mistakes you're making, you do not even analyze you if you're going in the right direction, you do not even set like proper minor goals for yourself to get there. So it's like you don't work smartly, you just like keep putting in the hard work, and you're just like struggling, you're grinding, but then in the end maybe the result is just like good, but then as I said, not perfection enough, right? And if you just like work smart, then you're like yeah, okay, fine, you're doing whatever you can to like maximize your results, but and you're doing it like in a very like time conserving manner, so that the rest of the time you can just chill and you can like relax and enjoy yourself. You don't want to work super hard, you don't want to push yourself that much, then you're just losing out a lot on your progress. Because even with like smart work, like 20% if you think about the Pareto principle, then 20% of the work, okay, it still gets you like only 80% of the results. Like the 20% are still lagging, and in some of the cases it doesn't always work also, in like big terms. When you talk about Pareto principle in like big factors, like you can say like in the world that 20% of the investors invest 80% of the money, like in those terms it does work. But sometimes in like work related tasks, it doesn't even work that just by giving like 20% you get like 80% of the results. Sometimes it's just 50%, 60%. So like to get like the rest of it, you still need to put in more hours, and that will just be more beneficial to you. It's like it's going to be taxing and stressful, but then don't you want to hit your complete potential? That's the question, right? So it's like this, you just like need to use the best of both worlds to like maximize the results. Because if you're a perfectionist, then that is what I feel like you should do. Like you shouldn't just choose just one of them and just do one of these things. Like work hard, put in the hours, put in the effort, but then also like analyze where you're doing it wrong, like have proper like milestones for yourself, like like a progress bar of like how you can like actually calculate if you're actually getting better or like worse, or like you're maintaining a constant uh, with like time. So then you can actually understand where you are lagging and like improve those areas, and maybe improve the time efficiency, and like like whatever the smart work you can do. So it's just like that, you cannot like use one of them and be like all okay with it, because the result is good, but it's not like exceptional, right? Yeah, because in the end it's like this: if like you're just working smart or you're just working hard, right? The people who actually combine both of them will just defeat you always, right? They'll just defeat you. So that's like that, that's your fate. So yeah, just like put in the hours, work hard, but then also like work smart, journal, write down whatever you're doing wrong, and actually understand what you can improve, and where you're lagging, where you are making good progress, and yeah, use both of them to the best of your capabilities. Like that's what gets you the best result in the end. And that's it for today's video. Thanks for watching.